Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate
Bhaktivedanta Swami
Namaste Saraswate Devi Vani Prachari
Narayana Nirvishesha
Nirvishatyadeshata Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuse Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind association. So we are continuing our study of Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, entitled Shri Narad Muni's Instructions on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to Srila Vyasadeva. And we have to start from verse number 31 today. So in these verses 23 to 31, Shri Narad Muni has narrated his previous life. So let us see the last verse where his life is described. Verse number 31. Shri Narad Muni is saying, Yenaivaham bhagavato vasudevasya vedhasaha mayanubhavam avidam yena gachanti tatpadam. Translation and purports by our beloved founder Acharya Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Shtottara Shata Shri Śrīmad Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. By that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Shri Krishna. Sripad Narad Muni is saying that after staying during the Chaturmasya period with those Bhakti Vedanta pure devotees, he constantly heard pure Harikatha from them, served them, and felt very attached to them, heart to heart attachment. As a result, he became purified. The effect of Rajogun and Tamogun disappeared. He made more and more spiritual advancement, and to the degree he made advancement, to that degree there was more and more and more reciprocation. More reciprocation, more spiritual advancement, more taste. That is what happened to Shri Narad Muni. As the sages were leaving, because these sannyasis, they don't live in one place for a long time. As they were preparing to leave, Shri Narad Muni felt great separation from them. As a small child, he was feeling lot of separation from them. So they became more compassionate to him. And what did they do? When sadhus become more compassionate, they give more satsang. They give more satsang. And what is the effect of that satsang is described in this line. By that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Shri Krishna. And who is Lord Shri Krishna? Ultimately, Lord Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. He is the creator. He is the maintainer. And he is the destroyer. The cause of creation is Krishna. The cause of maintenance is Krishna. The cause of destruction is Krishna. Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. All three, ultimately, there are Guna avatars who are doing it. There is Brahmaji, there is Lord Vishnu, and there is Lord Shiva. They are the three Guna avatars directly involved with Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, creation, maintenance, and destruction. But who is the source of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh? It is Lord Krishna. Sarva Karana Karanam. Therefore, the word, which name of Krishna is used in this verse to indicate specifically our Krishna? Please unmute and answer.
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva means specifically the son of Vasudeva Maharaj. So there is no doubt. This refers to Krishna. So Krishna is the creator, maintainer, annihilator. By knowing this, one can return to Krishna and personally meet him. Yena gachanti tat padam. We can attain Krishna. Krishna will become our destination. If we simply understand that Krishna is the creator, maintainer, and the ultimate destroyer, how Krishna's different energies are working. This is called most confidential knowledge. Now let us look at Srila Prabhupada's purports. In the first line of the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, what is the most confidential knowledge? It is knowledge about devotional service, by which one can clearly understand how the different energies of Krishna are working. One, there are three energies of Krishna. There is the Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. By the external energy, Srila Prabhupada is writing, by one part of the energy is manifesting the material world. Which energy is this?
Bahiranga.
Very good. The other part of energy is manifesting the spiritual world. Which energy is this? Can someone say within Antaranga specifically which energy is this?
Jugamaya Shakti.
Sandhini Shakti. Correct. Sandhini Shakti. Sandhini Shakti. And the medium, through the medium energy, is manifesting the living entities.
Tatastha.
Correct. Tatastha Shakti, the marginal energy. So now listen to the sentence again. And the via medium energy is manifesting the living entities, that is all of us, who are serving either of the above mentioned energy. What does that mean? That there is external energy, there is internal energy, and there is marginal energy. The marginal energy nature is to either serve external energy or serve internal energy. It cannot serve both. See, Prabhupada says, either of the above, either this or that. So we cannot say that I will keep one foot in sense enjoyment, and yes, I will do some Krishna consciousness also. Sometimes devotees say, I want to be like Ajamil. I want to enjoy also, and then in the end, I want to go back home, back to Godhead also. No. It doesn't work like that. The path of Krishna consciousness is a path of Sharanagati. And what is Sharanagati? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. To give up things that displease our Ishtadev. The one unto whom we are surrendering, the object of our Sharanagati, whatever will displease him or her, we do not do that. Pratikulyasya varjanam. And anukulyasya sankalpa. What will please my Ishta, that I will do. This is Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. So we can choose. Either we are on the side of Duryodhan or we are on the side of Arjun. We can either serve the internal energy or we can serve the external energy. Okay. So how do we decide which energy to serve? Both are Krishna's energy. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes the effect of serving these energies. The living entities serving material energy are struggling hard to become happy. Struggling hard. Manaha shasthani indriyani
Karshati.
prakriti sthani karshati. Struggling with these six senses. Struggling to become happy. Very difficult struggle. But those in the spiritual energy, Antaranga Shakti, are placed under the direct service of Lord Krishna in eternal life, complete knowledge, and perpetual bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Now focus on this. Those who are serving Krishna's internal energy. Who is internal energy? Devi Prakriti Srimati Radharani. So if we are under the service of Srimati Radhika Rani, what will be the effect? We will be placed in the service of Krishna in eternal life. What is the greatest anxiety in the material world? What policy do we have? Life insurance policy. Right? What belt do we wear when we drive? Seat belt, because we don't want to die. We are afraid of dying. Seat belt. Life insurance policy. Everything we do, risk analysis. Risky. If I say, dear Bhakti Vaibhava, Prabhujis and Matajis, let us go to Ukraine for a vacation. No, Prabhu, too risky. Isn't there any other place? Why? Because we are afraid of dying. But what is Krishna saying? Those who are serving Krishna, they are placed in eternal life. So the main anxiety of the material existence, fear of death, is gone. Complete knowledge. What is happening to the stock market? Today one doctor came to me in the hospital. I was doing my charting. Prabhu, stock market is crashing. I said, Acha? He said, you don't know? You're not watching the news? Stock market is crashing. I said, I don't know, but very sorry that it is crashing. Then he spoke few more sentences. This happened, that happened. Then he realized that I am a fool. I don't know anything about these stocks. So then he said, okay, you do your charting. He went to somebody else. So that means the stock market is crashing. I have heard today. Why? So people who are speculating on stocks, which stock to buy, array, this crashed, that went up. Why there is so much discussion? Why there are so many channels talking about stock market, where to invest? Because they don't have proper knowledge. Which stock is going to go up? Which stock is going to go down? Now imagine if we have complete knowledge. We become Trikalagya. We exactly know which stock is going to go up, when, which stock is going to go down, when. We will be free of anxiety, right? But is there anyone in this world who can claim exactly what is going to happen? No. Therefore, they are in anxiety. Why? Because their knowledge is not complete. Why are we afraid of COVID? Why are we afraid of cancer? We don't know how to treat it. Knowledge nahi hai. If we had complete knowledge, you take this medicine, you do this, exercise, whatever, you eat this food, and you will never get this disease. Then we will be free of anxiety because we have complete knowledge. So why there is anxiety in this world? Because there is lack of knowledge. Why students are fearful before exam? They don't know what is going to be asked. They don't know what questions are going to be asked. Why do we need Bhakti Vaibhava handbook? Because we don't know. We need the question bank so that we can predict. Iske bahar se kuch nahi aayega. So why? Because we are put in anxiety in this world because we have lack of knowledge. Anxiety. Oh, I lost my phone. I lost my key. Why there is anxiety? Because no knowledge. I don't know where that key is. Suddenly, if there is realization, oh, the key is in that drawer, in that table. Go and get it. Then there is no anxiety. We know everything. So anxiety comes in this world because of ignorance. But what is the effect of placing ourselves under Radharani? Complete knowledge. No more anxiety. There is anxiety in this world because of lack of knowledge. And perpetual bliss. The problem is I was talking to one colleague, saw him after a long time. Hey, long time no see. Yeah, yes. I had gone to, this was a few months ago. I had gone to Colorado for a skiing vacation. And he told me the name of the resort, the Airbnb, everywhere, everything he was telling me. I went to Colorado for a nice skiing vacation. I said, how was it? He said, oh, it was too short. It was too short. It got over in 5-6 days only. Too short. So what is the problem in this material world? Happiness lasts short-lived. Anityam asukham lokam. First of all, there is no bliss. We are working hard. Prakriti sthani karshati. But then little bit enjoyment is there. Some vacation is there. But what is the problem? That sukham is also anityam. It doesn't last. But what is Krishna saying here? Those who are under the Daivi Prakriti Ashrita, they are perpetual bliss. Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam. Perpetual bliss. So all the embarrassment, all the difficulties, all the frustrations and disappointments that we face in the material world are not there in the spiritual world. Therefore, the spiritual world is called no anxiety. No, spiritual world. No anxiety.
Vaikuntha.
Here there is a lot of anxiety. Stock market ka anxiety, health ka anxiety, so many anxieties are there. The Lord desires that all conditioned souls rotting in the kingdom of material energy come back to Him by giving up all engagements in the material world. Many times when we preach, people say, but even if there is God, what is the proof that God wants us? So here Srila Prabhupada is clearly saying that Krishna desires, as he has directly said in Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in the material kingdom must come back to Him by giving up all engagements in the material world. Now please raise your hand. Who can tell some verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, you come to me? Krishna is giving an invitation. Invitation. Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji.
Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja.
Okay, keep going. Where is the invitation? I want invitation. You are right, but keep going.
Janma karma cha me divyam evam
Yo veti
tatvatah tektva dekam punarjanma naiti mam eti. So Arjuna.
Okay, yes. Mameti. Krishna is saying, you come to me. Krishna is giving an invitation. So we are not uninvited. Krishna is inviting us in the spiritual world. Is there any other example in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna is inviting us?
Yeah, Manmanabha Madbhakta Madhya Namaskuru Bhāgavasa Sattam Te Pratijane Priyahosime.
Beautiful. Clearly Krishna is saying, Mam eva shashi. Is he giving this invitation card once or twice in Bhagavad Gita?
Twice.
Twice. 2 times. Same invitation is repeating. Please come. Prabhu Mataji, please come. Please come to. Okay. Any other invitation in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, come to me?
Natad bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavakah gatva na nivartante taddama paramamma.
Very nice. Very nice. Mukta Sangha Prabhu. Any other invitation? Only 4 invitations? 4 or 5 invitations?
Antakalecha, he says, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram, Yah Prayati Samadbhavam, Yati Nastyatra Samshaya.
Very nice. Everybody is feeling invited now? Is everybody feeling invited? Wanted in the spiritual world? Okay. Any other example in Bhagavad Gita?
Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukkale Mashashvatam Napnuvanti Mahatma
Very nice. Very nice. Any more invitation in Bhagavad Gita directly from Krishna?
Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati.
Yes, that is also a nice invitation. Any other invitation? Yes. Tarantite. Krishna wants us to leave. He's saying, leave that place where you are. Come to me. Is it invitation? Yes. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. What will happen?
Majjatita mana buddhi sasi asamsaya.
Ashamshaya. Mam evashisha asamshaya. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavan
Yatam te kalevaram tam tame vaiti kuntiya tadavava bhavita.
Yes. So 3 verses consequently Krishna is inviting us. Come. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. After obtaining this anityam asukham lokam, come on, bhajasvama. Come to me, worship me.
प्रभुजय अनन्यश्च चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेम वहाम्य अहम्.
Yes. Many times Krishna is inviting us. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying, the Lord desires, as he has directly said in Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls rotting in the kingdom of material energy come back to him by giving up all engagements in the material world. What is the next sentence? Loudly. Next sentence.
This is the most confidential part of knowledge.
This is the most confidential part of knowledge. So if we are asked, what is the most confidential knowledge? What is that Guhyatamam Dhyanam? What is that? All these verses. Krishna is giving us invitation. Please come to me. Prabhupada is saying, come back to him by giving up all engagement in the material world. This is the most confidential part of knowledge. Now, if somebody is teaching us 7 habits of highly effective people, how to climb up the corporate ladder, is this most confidential knowledge?
No.
I will tell you which is the most successful stock, which will give you money. Money is honey. My dear Sunny, rich man's joke is always funny. Is this most confidential knowledge?
No.
Oh. Nice comedy. Is this most confidential knowledge?
No.
Murder mystery.
No way.
Okay, some nice fiction like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Is this most confidential knowledge? Oh. How about NBA? How about what is the other thing? Football? No. Basketball? NFL? Is that most confidential knowledge? There are sports channels where people are giving tika. They are giving confidential commentary. Which team is better? Which player is better? Man of the series, player of the series. Is that most confidential knowledge?
No.
Oh. How about CNN? Is it Guhyatamam? Okay, Fox News. Acha, theek hai, NDTV. Times of India? No?
No.
How about Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam.
Yes.
Verse number 32. Etat samsuchitam brahmams tapatraya chikitsitam yad ishware bhagavati karma brahmani bhavitam. Shripad Narad Muni is saying the process of getting Krishna. Now from verses 32 to 36, Shri Narad Muni is saying, describing the process of getting Krishna. O Brahman, Srila Vyasadeva, it is decided by the learned that the best remedial measure, chikitsa means treatment given by doctor. Best remedial measure for removing all troubles. What is the word used for removing all troubles? Tapatraya chikitsitam. Tapatraya, removing all troubles and miseries, is to Ishware Bhagavati Karma, dedicating one's activities to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Bhavitam, Brahmani Bhavitam, to dedicate our activity to Krishna. That is the best way to get free from Tapatraya. What are the 3 miseries? Tapatraya.
Ādi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, Ādi Daivik, Ādi Bhautik.
Okay. So, Shanta Radhika Mataji, what is Adhyatmik Klesh? And give example, please.
Adhyatmik is misery given by the demigods, like जैसे बाढ़ आ जाती है, सूखा पड़ता है, तो ये सब natural calamities.
Okay, yeah, natural calamities, Adi Daivik, Daivi, the higher powers. Adi Daivik Klesh. So, like hurricanes, tornado, earthquakes, very good. Very good. So, that is Adi Daivik. Okay, now Ajay Govind Prabhu, can you please tell what is Adhyatmik Klesh, an example of that? And after that, Aishwarya Mataji.
Adhyatmik is, Prabhu, which are like coming from the self.
Yes.
Like we create our own problems by.
So if I get a brain tumor, it will be adhyatmic klesh. If I get anxiety disorder or depression, it is adhyatmic. My body and my mind is giving trouble.
Buying a big home, the mortgage. Buying a big home and then paying the mortgage.
And then what about Ādi
misery is caused by other living entities.
Okay, like bacteria,
like mosquitoes,
bacteria, viruses, COVID virus.
virus.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm going to just mute everybody for now. Okay. So these three types of sufferings are completely eradicated when we dedicate all our activities in the service of Shri Krishna. That is what Sri Narad Muni is saying in the verse. Ishware Bhagavati Karma Brahmani Bhavitam. Just Bhavitam, dedicate all of our activities for Krishna. Purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Shri Narad Muni personally experienced that the most feasible and practical way to open the path of salvation. Open the path of salvation means open the path of perfection, liberation, or to get relief from all the three types of miseries of life is the best process, most practical, most feasible process is to hear submissively the transcendental activities of Lord Krishna. Just hear. Just hear. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked that, Srila Prabhupada, if we give up everything, all the different 9 limbs of bhakti, but we had to hold on to only one, what should it be? Any guess what Srila Prabhupada said?
Shravanam.
Yeah. See, although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Bhajanera Madhya Shreshta Navavidha Bhakti, Krishna Prema Krishna Dite, Dhare Mahashakti. All these 9 processes can give us Krishna. Krishna Prema Krishna Dite. They have the power to give Krishna to us. Dhare Mahashakti. They are very powerful. Bhajanera Madhya Shreshta Navavidha Bhakti. All these 9 processes, Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada Sevana, Dasere, Pujana, Sakhijana, Atma Nivedana, Govinda Dasa, Abhilashare. All these 9 processes are very powerful. But out of them, which is the most powerful? What is the next verse? Mahaprabhu says, Tara Madhye
Sarvasreshta Nama Sankirtan.
That is the way how to chant. Nirapradha Nama Lebe Pabe Premadhan. Tara Madhye Sarvashresh Nama Sankirtan. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Sri Nam Sankirtan is the most powerful, best process out of the 9 processes of bhakti, but we cannot do Nam Sankirtan without association, without satsang. Cannot. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that if we had to hold on to one process, that should be hearing from the sadhus, satsang. Because if we are hearing from the sadhus, everything will happen. Nam Sankirtan will automatically start. Because what is the quality of a Uttam Adhikari? According to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kanishta Adhikari is one who at least once he chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Madhyam Adhikari is always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Uttam Adhikari is?
Just by seeing, we remember Krishna.
Yes, just by associating, just for seeing, we start chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said just be in satsang, be in the association of devotees, hear from the great souls, hear from the pure devotees. So first sentence Srila Prabhupada is saying, Shri Narad Muni personally experienced that the most practical, most feasible process of perfection of life and to get rid of all material miseries is to hear submissively the transcendental activities of Krishna from the right and bona fide sources. See, Prabhupada is repeatedly, yesterday, today, repeatedly emphasizing that we should hear from pure devotees. So Prabhupada says we should hear from the right and bona fide sources. Very important. That's why in our ISKCON disciple course, so much emphasis is placed that don't hear outside ISKCON. It's not that we are fanatical people or we don't respect other sampradayas or other gurus, but it is out of abundance of caution. If you simply hear Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's real followers, our life is made. It is sufficient for God realization. Because so many devotees have attained Krishna just by following Srila Prabhupada. Isn't it? So it's a safe process. Instead of going here and there and then hearing from the wrong sources and getting confused, with the Siddhanta, better not to go here and there. So a safe process is told. Okay, now you have got an expert Vaidya who is going to do chikitsa, who is going to treat us. Now just have faith in this one doctor. If I have got diabetes and I go to one doctor, the doctor is competent, gives a nice treatment, and I say, hold on, before I fully accept a treatment, there is another doctor who has got 5-star reviews. Let me go. Then I go there. Oh, but my friend recommended another. Let me go there. I go get treatment from there, get a prescription from there. Hold on, I cannot commit myself to you yet. My office colleague has recommended that physician. Let me go there. We keep going and keep taking prescriptions, keep taking diksha, idhar diksha, udar diksha, idhar mantra, udar mantra. What is the effect? We are still patient. Our blood sugar is still very high. Diabetes has not come under control. Why? Because we are hearing दूध घी की बातें कर रहे हैं हम, लेकिन दूध घी पी नहीं रहे. Just by hearing the nutritional value of milk and ghee, we don't become healthy. We have to drink it, and then we have to do some Surya Namaskar also. That is bhajan. Don't just take prescription and this mantra, that mantra. Oh, this mantra is very melodious. That mantra is no. Rato. Thaite, shuite, uthite, bashite, yatha tatha naam lay, desh kal niyam nahi sarva siddhi hai. Constantly eating, sleeping, walking, sitting, getting up. Constantly we have to chant the name. Nirantar Harinam. Sadatam kirtayanto mam. Kirtanya sada hari. Always we have to chant. By repeatedly chanting, the mantra becomes siddha. The mantra becomes siddha. When we chant, then we can get Krishna. This is the only remedial process Srila Prabhupada says. So faith, one guru, one isht, one shastra, and one mantra. I repeat, one guru, one path, one ishtadev, one mantra, one shastra, one mala. Just one tulsi mala. Take one shastra in your life, accept it completely. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are connected. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the Parishishta Leela of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. It is a continuation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Parishishta Leela. So if we just accept Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, nothing else is required. If we just chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, nothing else is required. If we just take shelter of Jagat Guru, Srila Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, our life will be perfect. We respect everyone, but one path. Ek bharoso, ek bal, ek aas vishwas, Ramachandra Ghanasham, Chatak Tulsidas. Ek bharoso, ek aas. Ek bharoso, ek bal, ek aas vishwas. One faith, one shelter, and one pointed Shraddha. Ramachandra Ghanasham and Chatak Tulsidas. Lord Ramachandra is Ghanasham. He is like a cloud, rain-filled cloud. And Goswami Tulsidas is Chatak Pakshi. Chatak Pakshi always drinks water only from the rain cloud, nowhere else. That is one path, one guru, one isht. Not that we want to go through this Vaikuntha planet, that demigod planet, that Pitra planet. No. One Ishta. Radha Krishna Pranamor, Yugala Kishore, Jivane, Marane Gati, Aranahimor. And how I am going to serve? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhur Daseranudas, Seva Abhilasha Kare Narottama Das. One bhajan. In this one bhajan, the full Siddhanta, full meditation, everything is there. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Everything is there in this one bhajan of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Radha Krishna Pranamor Yugala Kishore, Jivane Marane Gati Aranahimor. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhur Daseranudas, Seva Abhilasha Kare Narottama Das. And we can say, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhur Daseranudas, Seva Abhilasha Kare Ei Adhamadas. Like that. Foolish people have manufactured out of their tiny brains many remedial measures for removing the threefold miseries pertaining to the body and mind, pertaining to the natural disturbances, and pertaining to other living beings. The whole world is struggling very hard to exist out of these three miseries. But there is no solution. There is no solution. Just think about it. So many solutions we have come up. Now there is transportation. We have invented nice cars because there's a problem of transportation. We want to get from one place to other quickly. So now nice cars have been invented. First, there was a very simple car. Now so many advanced features are there in the car. There are nice 12, 13-way adjustable driver seat. There is a dynamic seat belt. Even before the accident, the seat belt becomes tight nowadays. There was cruise control. Highway, you don't have to keep your foot on the gas pedal. Just set a speed, and now there is adaptive cruise control. If there is a car in front of you, automatically the car will slow and accelerate to maintain safe distance. So many lane departure warning, forward collision warning, rear traffic collision warning. So many things are there. So many advancements are there in technology. But still in our state of Georgia, every time we see on the highway that thing flashing. So far in the state of Georgia, so many deaths have happened. In the last 12 years that I have been in Atlanta, that number has remained same. Cars have upgraded from 2010 to 2022, but the accidents have only gone up actually. Because there is a DUI, driving under influence of alcohol, drugs. There is just careless driving. Sometimes there are sleepy drivers like me. So many problems are there. And we try to fix them, but there is no proper solution in this world. There will always be problem of birth, old age, disease, and death. Srila Prabhupada was in America, and one reporter taunted Prabhupada. She was very proud of being an American, and she looked down upon people who came from less developed countries. She told Prabhupada, if you are saying that your country civilization, Indian civilization, Hindu civilization is so advanced, then why in your country in India the mortality rate is so high? Prabhupada said, what is that? Why the mortality rate is very high in India? Prabhupada said the mortality rate is same everywhere. It is 100%. You can have different statistics. Neonatal mortality rate, maternal mortality rate. Ultimately, mortality rate is same everywhere. It's 100%. Do people not die in Japan or America or any advanced New Zealand? 100% mortality. Janma mrityu jaravati dukkha doshanu darshanam. Further in the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy. If a businessman, an industrialist, an agriculturist, whoever we are, but we spend our hard-earned money for the cause of Lord Krishna, that is our perfection. Think always that the money which is accumulated is wealth of Krishna. Wealth is considered to be goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, and the Lord is Narayan, Lakshmipati, husband of goddess of fortune. So Prabhupada is saying that money is an energy of Lakshmi Devi, and Lakshmi Devi is the wife of Lord Narayan, always serving Lord Narayan. So we should use Lakshmi in the service of Krishna. Try to engage Lakshmi in the service of Narayan and be happy. Lakshmi Devi always engage in the service of Lord Narayan, Pada Sevanam. So we should engage money, which is a manifestation of Lakshmi, in the service of Krishna also. If we use money for our sense enjoyment, what mentality is that? Ravan mentality. I want Sita without Ram. Hare Krishna. And if we want to engage money in the service of Krishna, we want to engage Sita Devi in the service of Lord Ram, what is that mentality? It is Hanuman mentality or Vibhishan mentality, trying to bring them together. And if you only want Krishna, but we don't want to do any service, you want to participate in Janmashtami, Rath Yatra, but don't want to give any donation. I will come, I will participate, but I will not give any money. When it comes to money, my pocket is closed. Tight-fisted devotees. I will do everything. Paise ki baat mat karo. Don't talk about money. Money I will not give. What is that mentality? We want Krishna without Lakshmi. We want Narayan without Lakshmi. What mentality is that? Shurpanakha. Shurpanakha. I want Ram. I want to enjoy Ram, but I don't want Sita. No. Sita and Ram are together. Lakshmi Narayan are together. Radha Krishna are together. So we should engage. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. The best thing is, after all, to get relief from all material activities and engage oneself completely in hearing the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. We should all plan like that. Someday I'm going to retire and I'm going to engage completely in doing what Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga want me to do. Hearing, chanting, Vaishnava Seva, Shastra Swadhyaya, Prachar, book distribution. I will be doing this all the time. Deity worship. But in case the absence of such an opportunity, if you don't have the opportunity to hear and chant, one should try to engage in the service of Krishna, everything for which one has specific attraction. See, we are all attracted. Nice food. We are always planning. Aaj kya hai lunch ko? Aaj dinner mein kya hai? Always planning. So whatever we are attached to, we should offer it to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is saying, even if you don't have time for satsang, in case of absence of such an opportunity, one should try to engage in the service of Krishna, everything for which one has specific attraction. And that is the way of peace and prosperity. Okay. Verse number 33. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tad eva hi amayam dravyam na punati chikitsitam. Śrīmad Narad Muni says, "Oh good soul Vyasdev, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing?" Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. So see, material things are a cause of bondage, correct? Material things are cause of bondage. Now, if we take those material things and use them in Krishna's service, those material things become the cause of our liberation, right? So there is a flower. We can either try to give it to the Valentine on Valentine's Day, or we can offer that flower to Radha and Krishna. Just see, we can offer that flower to Guru Maharaj. The choice is ours. That same flower can become the cause of dating and bondage, or that same flower can become the cause of Gajendra Moksha. Same lotus. It can become cause of Gajendra Moksha. So Śrīmad Narad Muni is saying, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? Prabhupada ji writes in the purport, an expert physician treats his patient with a therapeutic diet. For example, milk preparation sometimes causes disorders of the bowels, but the very same milk converted into curd and mixed with some other remedial ingredients cures such disorders. So milk may be difficult to digest, but yogurt has probiotics, natural probiotics. So it can actually aid in digestion. Further in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, similarly, the material conception of a thing is at once changed as soon as it is put into the service of Krishna. A material thing becomes spiritual when it is used in service of Krishna. There can be sandalwood oil used for aromatherapy, a nice massage for sense gratification. Or that same sandalwood oil can be used to massage Shaligram Shila. How about that? Wonderful. So that same, then is that sandalwood oil material? Is it aromatherapy oil? No. Now it has become prasadi. It has become Mahaprasad. When that Shaligram Shila will be bathed, that same sandalwood oil will come in the Charanamrit and it will give a wonderful flavor. And all the devotees say, Vah, Vah, Vah. Jai Charanam, Akala Mrityu Haranam, Sarva Vyadhi Vinashanam, Vishnu Padodakam Pitva, Shirsa Dhariyama. All the devotees are holding that Charanamrit on their head. That same sandalwood oil, which could be used by a Vishayi person, a materialistic sense enjoyer for aromatic sense gratificatory massage. Now that same becomes Charanamrit, part of Charanamrit. That is the secret of spiritual success. Spiritual success, the secret is simply to use what we have in the service of Krishna. Give up desire for sense enjoyment. Give up desire for sense gratification. And become mad after the sense gratification of Radha and Krishna. Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Nam Pratikshana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam Nikunjayonu Ratikeli Siddhi Yayali Bhir Yukti Rapekshaniya. Yukti, doing yuktis for the enjoyment, Ratikeli, for the amorous enjoyment of Radha and Krishna in the Nikunja. Nikunjayonu Ratikeli Siddhi Yayali Bhir Yukti Rapekshaniya Tatradi Daksha Dati Vallavasya. Shri Guru is very expert in facilitating the Madhuryamaya pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Nikunja, the Nikunja Leela. Vande Guru Shri Charana Arvinda. The best way to make the best use of a bad bargain is to use everything in relationship with Supreme Spiritual Being Krishna. Repeatedly, Srila Prabhupada is saying, second last sentence. When everything is thus employed in the service of Krishna, we can experience that there is nothing except the Supreme Brahman. The Vedic mantra that everything is Brahman. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. Everything is Brahman is thus realized by us. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. Everything is Brahman is realized by us. So see, Srila Prabhupada is quoting that Vedic aphorism which is misunderstood by the Mayavadis. Srila Prabhupada is saying, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. When everything is thus employed in the service of Krishna, we experience that there is nothing except Supreme Brahman. Because Krishna is Brahman, and because the material things are being used in Krishna service, they have also become spiritualized. Just like a dull piece of iron, when put in fire, becomes hot like fire. Similarly, everything becomes Brahman. Everything becomes Krishnamaya. Sthavar jangam na dekhe tara murti, sarvatra haya nija ishta deva spurti. Verse number 34. Evam nrinam kriya yoga sarve samsrishti hetavaha ta evatma vinashaya kalpante kalpita pare. Sripad Narad Muni is continuing his pravachan to Srila Vedavyas ji. Thus, when all of a man's activities are dedicated to the service of Lord Krishna, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Tree of work. What is that? Adho Moolam, Urdhva Moolam, Adha Shakha. That Ashwatha tree, that banyan tree described in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Purport. Fruitive work which has perpetually engaged the living being is compared to the banyan tree in Bhagavad Gita. For it is certainly very deeply rooted. Our prapancha, our attachment in this material world, very deeply rooted. As long as the propensity, please listen carefully, we have come to the end of our discussion. As long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit of work is there, one has to continue the transmigration of the soul from one body to the other. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. How long? As long as we have the tendency to enjoy. As long as we think that there is ananda in this material world. As long as we think there is sukh, there is enjoyment in this material world. And we want to enjoy sense gratification, indriya tripti. Until that time, we cannot exit. Our condition is like the monkey who wants the fruit. Who can explain that analogy? Srila Prabhupada gives. Analogy of monkey. Come on. Who can give? That is exactly our situation, like a monkey. As long as we want to enjoy, we cannot exit.
Guruji, is that the monkey catcher, they will put some chana in the surai
pot.
In a pot with a narrow neck, and then the monkey will hold it and then will not leave it, even though the catcher will catch, and then because he is holding and he just wants to taste the chana.
Yes. So there is a pot with a narrow mouth. The hand of the monkey can go like this, but after it is grabbing something, it cannot come out. The open fist can come out, but the closed fist cannot come out. So the monkey puts the hand, grabs the chana or the banana, and then pulling out. Now it's not coming out. It's stuck. He's stuck to that pot. All he has to do is let go. Just leave that thing and you are free. The hand will come out. But the monkey cannot give up. Asakti. Attachment, material attachment. Srila Prabhupada saying, as long as, second sentence of the purport, to verse 34, as long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit, monkey's fruit, as long as the propensity for, so we have to think, what is the fruit I am holding? What is that fruit that I am holding in this? What is that sense gratification that I do repeatedly, which is nishedh, which has been forbidden by Shri Guru? But I am doing it. It may be restaurant food. It may be some form of sense gratification. It could be anything. What is my fruit that I am holding, because of which I am not able to free myself? Unless we free ourselves from the material world, we cannot enter the spiritual world. Simple, when you want to walk, to take one step ahead, we have to lift the other leg. Otherwise, we cannot go. We cannot enter the material world, the spiritual world, unless and until we leave the material world. So, as long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit of work is there here, one has to continue the transmigration of the soul from one body, one place to another, according to one's nature of work. What is that? Karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmasu. The propensity for enjoyment may be turned into the desire for serving the mission of Krishna. But now that same tendency to enjoy, if we use that tendency for Nikunja Yonu Ratikeli Siddhi, if you want to facilitate the enjoyment of Radha and Krishna, how will I decorate Radha and Krishna today? How I will make full bangla? How I will make Jhulan arrangement, Nauka Vihar, Pushpa Abhishek. Aha. So many things are there. If that is our meditation, then we are on the right path. Last paragraph and then we'll stop for today. Then verse 35 we will continue tomorrow. The summary is that one has to first of all, now please my dear friends, I am folding my hands and requesting, please let us read this paragraph together with 100% attention. Last paragraph, the second paragraph of the purport to verse 34. Srila Prabhupada is giving our entire journey, spiritual journey. Please listen carefully. The summary is that one has to first of all seek the association of pure devotees who not only are learned in Vedanta, but are self-realized souls and unalloyed devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the pure devotee has two attributes: Shastra Yukti and Sudrid Shraddha. Shastra Yukti and Sudrid Shraddha. Unflinching faith, unflinching devotion. At the same time, Shastra Yukti, learned in the Shastra. Like Srila Prabhupada. How every word Srila Prabhupada would say, he would substantiate it with Shastric evidence. First of all, we should seek association of pure devotees who are learned in Vedanta, but are also self-realized soul and unalloyed devotees of Lord Krishna. In that association, Sadhu Sangha, what happens? The neophyte devotees must render loving service physically and mentally without reservation. Physical and mental service to the Bhagavatam. Without reservation. Without reservation. This service attitude will induce the great souls to become more favorable in bestowing their mercy. What did we see yesterday? Mercy or kripa is of two types. Ahaituki and haituki. The kripa is always ahaituki because Krishna kripa is ahaituki. So sadhus who are representing Krishna, their kripa also is ahaituki. Initially Narad Muni got ahaituki kripa. But because he reciprocated with that kripa, that mercy, he reciprocated, he became qualified to receive more kripa, more mercy. So that is what is saying. This service attitude will induce the great souls to be more and more favorable in bestowing more and more of their mercy, which injects, intravenous, injects the neophyte with all transcendental qualities of the pure devotee. All these transcendental qualities are injected to us from the heart of a pure devotee into our heart. Not only intravenous, intracardiac injection, heart to heart injection. The sadhu, from a sadhu's heart, these divine qualities will manifest in our heart. Injects the neophyte devotee with all transcendental qualities of the pure devotees. Gradually, this is developed into a strong attachment to hearing the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, which makes him able to catch up the constitutional position of the gross and subtle bodies, and beyond them, the knowledge of the pure soul and his eternal relation, sambandha jnana, eternal relation with the Supreme Soul, Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So what happens? When we get this transcendental qualities and we serve the pure devotees with faith and without reservation, gradually strong attachment to hearing. Sushrusho shradhanasya vasudeva tatharuchi swanmahat sevaya vipra punya tirtha nisheva. By serving, we get strong attachment to hearing. So if we like to hear satsang, we like to hear Krishna katha, that means we are on the right path. एक टेस्ट आती है, डेवलप होती है. We develop a taste for Krishna katha. Good sign, very good sign. sign of spiritual advancement. After the relation is ascertained, then we are able to understand our relationship with Krishna. We are able to understand who I am. Oh, this material body, I am actually not this material body. I am not even the subtle body. I am not the Karana Sharir or the Sukshma Sharir, and I am not the Sthul Sharir, the gross body. But who am I? Naham Vipro, Nacha Narapatir, Napi Vaishyo, Na Shudro, Naham Varani, Nacha Grihapatir, No Vanastho Yatirva, Kintu Prodyan, Nikhila Paramananda Purnamrita Abdher, Gopi Bharatu Padakamalayor, Dasa Dasa Anudasa. I am the maid servant of the maid servant of the maid servant of Srimati Radhika Rani and Krishna. Gopinath, Radha Gopinath. After the relation is ascertained, so by doing intense Nam Bhajan Vaishnav Seva, Nam Bhajan Guru Seva, what happens? We actually understand our constitutional position. What is the relationship with Krishna and Radharani? After this relation is ascertained by establishment of the eternal relation, pure devotional service to the Lord begins, gradually developing into perfect knowledge of the personality of Godhead beyond the purview of impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. So Brahman, beyond Paramatma, Bhagwan realization. Bhagwan realization. We actually come to know our relationship with Radha and Krishna. What is our name in the spiritual world? What is our form? What is our age? How is our dress? What is our service to the divine couple? All these things, there are 11 characteristics, Ekadasha Bhava. All of them are revealed to us gradually by doing Nam Bhajan. Just same process, but we have to do it faithfully and with intensity. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusha param. Then we develop a personal relationship. And then pure devotional service begins. Devotional service with full sambandha jnana. That is our abhideya. By such Purushottam Yoga, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, one is made perfect even during the present corporeal existence. Even in this body, we become perfect. That is called Jivan Mukta. One becomes perfect. And one exhibits all the good qualities of Krishna to the highest percentage. Then we become Devi Prakriti Ashrita, and all the divine qualities manifest in us. All the 25, 26 qualities of a devotee. Such is the gradual development by association of pure devotees. And how did it all start? By the association of pure devotees. So now verse number 35 onwards, we will continue tomorrow, my dear friends, and we'll complete this chapter tomorrow. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So it's exactly 9:30. So we can take a few questions very quickly. Tomorrow we can have a longer session. Tomorrow I have more time, so we can have a longer session. So Shama Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, in verse 34, Atma is translated as the tree of work. Now, the common meaning of Atma is the self. And if it were translated that way, then it would, become the destroyer of the self. So why is it translated as the tree of work?
Evam nrinam kriya yoga sarve samsriti hetavah ta evatma vinashaya kalpante kalpita pare. Evam, thus, nrinam of the human being, kriya yoga, all activities, kriya yoga, all activities, sarve, everything, samsrishti, material existence, hetava, causes, te, that, eva, certainly, atma, the tree of work, vinashaya, killing, kalpante becomes competent, kalpitaha, dedicated, pare, unto the transcendence. Thus, when all of a man's activities are dedicated to the service of Lord Krishna, those very activities which cause his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of the work. Yeah. So here, in my understanding, Atma, the tree of work, refers to the cause of our material bondage, our Karana Sharir. So we have the Sthula Sharir, that can also be called Atma, our material body. Then there is a subtle body called Sukshma Sharir or Karana Sharir. Karana Sharir specifically refers to a subtle body which is filled with material desires. that is Karana Sharir. That can also be referred to as Atma. Then our soul can also be referred to as Atma. And Paramatma Krishna is also sometimes referred to as Atma. So Atma can have these different connotations. The material body, the subtle body, specifically the Karana Sharir, where in the mind all the material desires are there, hankerings are there, which keep us bound in the material world. So it's called Karana. It is the Karan of our being in the material world. Karana Sharir. And then there is the Jivatma, that is also called Atma. And Paramatma also is sometimes called Atma. So therefore, we need Acharya, we need Guru to tell us what is the specific connotation to that use of that word. So here Atma refers to subtle body, Karana Sharir, the tree of work, which will be destroyed by engaging everything in Krishna's service. So it's subtle body basically. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Now, Amrit Karana Prabhu. We are talking about Karana. Amrit Karana Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
It's a wonderful presentation, Prabhuji. I really appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you. Actually, you speak about the Sarup Siddhi, the Mukti Hitai Anata Rupam Sarupena Bhavasthiti. That 11 symptom, you talk about 11 symptoms. So it's like we could realize our body, what is our cloth, what is our ornaments. Can you explain regarding this little bit? Please, if you please explain.
Our acharyas explain that as we make spiritual progress, gradually, step by step, our Siddha Deha, it is revealed to us by Guru Kripa, by the mercy of our spiritual master. You know Srila Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You know he had a disciple, Gaur Krishna Maharaj?
I have not so much acquaintance with him, but I was acquaintance with Radha Govinda Maharaj. In Odisha, I was there in Puri. So,
yeah. So, yes. So, Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj, and he had a disciple by the name Gaur Krishna Prabhu. And then he got sannyas diksha from Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj. And unfortunately, within few months, while chanting japa during Brahma Muhurta in Sridham Vrindavan, His Holiness Gaur Krishna Maharaj gave up his body few years ago. So Gaur Krishna Maharaj, he was a personal servant of Srila Radha Govind Maharaj, and it is there in the memories. So once he had the same question that you have. So he asked Srila Radha Govind Maharaj privately in the room in Vrindavan that Maharaj, ye Swarup Siddhi kab prapt hogi? When will we come to know about our Swarup? All these 11 characteristics of our eternal Swarup, how will we come to know? So Srila Radha Govind Maharaj asked him, who gives Swarup Siddhi? So Srila Gaur Krishna Maharaj said, Shri Guru gives Swarup Siddhi. So then Srila Radha Govind Maharaj said, then why don't you leave it to me? Why don't you leave it to me? If it is the duty of the spiritual master to give Swarup Siddhi, then just leave it to the spiritual master. Why are you worrying about it? What is not in our hands, what is not in our domain, why worry about it? It's the work of the spiritual master to reveal the Swarup. So just leave it to the spiritual master. When the spiritual master knows that you are ready, then the spiritual master will reveal. Like Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Narottam Das Thakur was given his Swarup Siddhi by Srila Loknath Maharaj. So he gave him the specific Manjari Upasana, told that you are Champaka Manjari in Golok Vrindavan, and this is your Seva, you are under Rupa Manjari. So everything was revealed to Srila Narottam Das Thakur by Srila Loknath Goswami Maharaj. Like that. So Shri Guru will reveal it when we are ready. But our endeavor should be that I want to become a good Madhyamadikari. I want to become a good Madhyamadikari. I want to very carefully do Anartha Nivritti. And I want to be engaged in Naishthik Bhajan, steady devotional service. And I want to just follow the orders of my spiritual master. And then Swarup Siddhi and all these next steps in spiritual progress, they will automatically happen by Guru Krishna Prasad. Guru Krishna Prasad. It's a descending process. It's a descending process. We have to be very much eager to receive it, but ultimately we should know that it is not something that we can reach, we can achieve. It's a descending process, and we should have faith in Guru that it will come. There was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, I think Chitra Ranjini Mataji, I believe, and there is a book called Simple for the Simple. Simple for the Simple. She was a very typical ISKCON devotee, this Mataji, Chitra Ranjini Devi Dasi. I hope I'm getting her name correct. Maybe I'm making some mistake, but that's her name. And she was a bread and butter, rank and file ISKCON devotee. She was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, she was married, she was a grihastha. She lived near a temple, she did services. Her service was stitching clothes for the deities, making garlands for the deities. She was chanting 16 rounds. She was following the 4 regulative principles strictly. Chanting 16 rounds minimum every day, good quality in the morning, following the morning program, and following 4 regulative principles. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no gambling. And she did this for a few decades. She was diagnosed with brain cancer. And of course, husband, all the devotees, they gave treatment. And then finally, she reached a state where she could not function. She became completely bedridden. And in her last days, she started talking about her Swarup. That this is my name, this is my seva, this is how I look. And she was in Vatsalya Bhav. She was a maid servant of Yashoda Maiya. And her whole meditation was how I'm going to assist Yashoda Maiya in packing the tiffin for Krishna, as Krishna Balram are going for Gochar and Leela. And she would say, today we have cooked this. Today Yashoda Rani has made this. I am assisting. This was her full meditation. And she revealed it to her husband. And she said, I got all this by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Just by following the vows of initiation. Therefore, the book is called Simple for the Simple. I have that book, but I left it in India when I came to America. I don't have it here. Very beautiful book. Simple for the Simple. And then her husband took sannyas from His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj after the wife passed away. He became a sannyasi. I don't remember his name now. So the point is, Srila Prabhupada will reveal our Swarup to us. Guru Maharaj will reveal our Swarup to us. We just have to be faithful and continue nicely. Our attempt should be to be a thoroughly nice Madhyamadikari. And the characteristics of Madhyamadikari are described in Jaiva Dharma by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It is a very exalted position to be a Madhyamadikari. Listen to the characters. A Madhyamadikari chants 1 lakh name every day, 64 rounds every day. Number 1. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes this. A Madhyamadikari will chant 64 rounds every day. A Madhyamadikari will never worry about whether the prasad is tasty or not tasty. A Madhyamadikari will never make plans कि आज पानी पूरी चाहिए, आज पाव भाजी चाहिए, आज Mexican चाहिए, Chinese चाहिए. No. Whatever is there, khichdi, roti, dal, will be happy. No desire for jivhera lalasa. No desire for sense gratification. So basically, the urge is controlled. Jivha vegam. A Madhyamadikari will never overeat. Next. A Madhyamadikari will never wear opulent clothes. Simple dhoti chadar or dhoti kurta or a simple sari. Simple clothes. Will never, buy expensive clothes and try to look good in the eyes of this world. Try to attract attention towards oneself with nice dressing. No, very simple. Simple dress. Simple dress. And a Madhyamadikari, for the most part, does not have any desire for pratishtha and appreciation. For the most part. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, there may be some desire for appreciation of one's services. Little bit. That, if we do kirtan, there may be a desire that, are the devotees pleased with my performance of kirtan? Did the devotees like my class? Did the devotees like the way I dressed Gaur Nitai today? So little bit desire for appreciation may be there in the initial stage of Madhyamadikari. But as the Madhyamadikari makes advancement, even that is gone. So these are very specific characteristics of a Madhyamadikari. And a Madhyamadikari is, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, very attached to satsang. If you put a Madhyamadikari in an office, surrounded by materialistic people who are doing mundane talk, the Madhyamadikari will become restless. Arey baap re, main kahan pe aa gaya? What is this place? You will feel like a fish out of water. Arey, there is no talk of Prabhupada. There is no talk of Gaur-Nita. There is no Gaur, there is no Krishna Katha. Where am I? Oh, how can I run back to the association of devotees? Little time they will immediately call up a devotee. Prabhu, I want association. Prabhu, please tell me what were you reading, what were you hearing? That is the final quality of a Madhyamadikari. That a Madhyamadikari has absolutely no taste for mundane association. Absolutely no taste for mundane association. And lot of taste for devotee association. I repeat, these are the characteristics of Madhyamadikari. Does not dress opulently, does not eat opulently, chants 64 rounds, constantly wants to chant Harinam, very dedicated to Harikatha, very dedicated to Satsang, no taste for Asatsang. But there may be some tinge of desire for little pratishtha, little appreciation. That's all. That is the anartha that is there. But that also gets cleansed as the Madhyamadikari makes advancement. These are the characteristics of a Madhyamadikari. These are the characteristics of Madhyamadikari. So our aim should be to become a good Madhyamadikari. Swarup Siddhi happens at the stage of Uttamadikari, Prabhuji. Swarup Siddhi takes place in the state of Uttamadikari. That is the Uttamadikari. Adhikar for Swarup is an Uttam stage. But our duty should be to be good Madhyamadikari. Then Guru and Krishna, Guru and Gauranga will make us Uttam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, na? Rupa sanatana pade dante trina kori bhakati binoda pore dui pada dhari kandiya bole ami to adhama shikhaye sharanagati korohe uttama. Shikhao sharanagati korohe uttama. You make me Uttam. I cannot become Uttam. So like that. Is that helpful, Amrit Karan Prabhu?
Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu, for explaining all this. Wonderful. Thank you.
Sarojanandini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the wonderful classes with a lot of explanation for each verse. I just had a simple question about the open book questions, Prabhu. For this section, I believe there's 4 chapters, right?
So, yeah, 4 chapters. So,
5, 6,
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, right?
Yeah. So there's going to be 4 questions, open book questions, like last time.
I have to look at that handbook, Mataji. You can also look at that handbook. Okay. It has all the details of how the exam will be conducted. I have to look at it myself.
Okay, so is there, I mean, you will be selecting some question and giving us,
correct,
right?
Correct. Out of that bank.
Okay, so that's going to be a little later, or when will you give?
When we finish this module. So the first module was, the first unit was the first 3 chapters, which we completed. Now, I think 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th is 1 unit. So once we finish, then we'll have an exam on these 4 chapters.
I'm talking about the open book questions, Prabhu. So we will have a little bit time to prepare, right? So
yes. You want me to give it soon, the questions?
Yeah, it'll be nice if you can give the questions a little earlier.
Okay. So this week is a little hectic for me, but I'm off on Monday, Tuesday. I'm off. So I will do it on those 2 days, correcting all your papers, and I will give the open book essay. Just remind me if I don't do that.
Sure.
Monday, Tuesday I will do. Huh?
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, then after Sarojanandini Mataji, we have Shanta Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. Prabhuji, like we are again and again hearing, we should hear from a pure devotee. So like how we can define a pure devotee? Like when we come to know a person personally, so we find so many things that we feel it is not good. So how can we do that? Like
we have to be very careful, Shanta Radhika Mataji. We don't want to become fault finders. We want to see the good in others. We don't want to always focus on, hey, is this devotee pure? Is this devotee uttam or not? No, we don't want to become like that. We don't want to put devotees in boxes. Oh, this is not uttam. This is not uttam. This is not pure. This is not pure. Neti. We should not do neti with devotees. Not this devotee. No. We have to see the good in others. Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhe paradosh. Manakaya vacha kare Vaishnava santosh. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita teaches us that Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhe paradosh. A Vaishnava is gunagrahi. We have to look at the guna, not avguna. Good qualities, not bad qualities. We look at good qualities. Now, as far as hearing is concerned, we don't want to constantly reject devotees. No, not uttam, not uttam. Instead of that, we know in our heart there are certain devotees who are pure devotees, like our spiritual master, like Srila Prabhupada. So we should hear from them. Our Guru Varga, our Guru Maharaj, and ultimately our most important Shiksha Guru, that is Srila Prabhupada. We should hear their lectures. These are pure devotees. We should keep it simple. Because pure devotees are rare. Everybody cannot be a pure devotee. So I am a Kanishta. I am Kanishta. So therefore we have to hear from pure devotees. Or we can also hear from Madhyam Adhikaris who are Guru Sevaks. If a Madhyam Adhikari is nicely engaged in the service of the spiritual master, we can hear from them. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would give opportunity to his disciples to speak because they were Guru Sevaks. So if someone is following all the regulative principles and is a Guru Sevak, then sometimes we can hear from such a Madhyam and is a Madhyam Adhikari, then we should hear. And but otherwise we should hear from pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master and our Guru Varga, ISKCON Guru Varga. Is that okay? Shantarathika Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. But like with that Guru Varga, we can hear only on the mobile, Prabhuji. And
Yes.
like for personal association, we go to the local temple.
Correct. And we should hear in the local temple, whoever the speaker is for Sunday feast or festival lectures, that is arranged by Srila Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada arranged GBC. GBC has set up all these temple presidents and temple management, right? And the temple management decides who is going to speak. So indirectly, Srila Prabhupada has organized. So we should think that Srila Prabhupada has organized, wants me to hear from this speaker today. And we should hear respectfully. But when we are at home, we have a choice to hear. So we should hear from Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga only, as far as possible. We should hear from pure devotees. That is the way to make spiritual advancement. In the previous ages, previous centuries, what would happen? Disciples or devotees, sadhaks, where would they live? They would live in Gurukul. So they would live in the ashram of their Guru and they would hear from their spiritual master every day. Now we don't have that facility. So we can do it through ISKCON Desire Tree and YouTube. That's okay. Srila Prabhupada said in the previous purport, we should make the best of a bad bargain. So that's okay. Is that okay? Shantarathika Mataji?
Yes. Thank you so much.
But important thing is we should not have a fault finding eye. Always that, is this devotee pure? No, this devotee has this fault. That devotee has that fault. No, that is a very dangerous situation. It is a sure shot formula for a spiritual fall down. We will only become criticizers, blasphemers, Vaishnava Apradhi. We should never become like that. We should respect everyone and Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhe paradosh. Manakaya vacha kare Vaishnava santosh. We should please the devotees with our body, mind and words, and Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhe paradosh. We should not look at their faults, we should look at their guna, their good qualities. Okay. As far as hearing, we should have a list of our Shravan Gurus. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Guru Maharaj's god brothers or god sisters who we know are pure devotees. We should make a list of 5-6 devotees and stick to that. Listen to them. That is more than enough. And whoever is speaking in the temple, in the local yatra, we should hear from them. Very respectfully, very gratefully, because we need to hear live classes also. And they are authorized by Srila Prabhupada's management to speak. Because once I asked Shripad Mukundatta Prabhu that I am Kanishta, I am still struggling very much, just trying to follow the 4 regulative principles, trying to control my mind and senses. I'm not chanting properly. I don't have any taste. I don't have any realization. So why should I speak? So immediately, Shripad Mukundatta Prabhu replied that unless you speak Harikatha, you will never become purified. So speaking Harikatha, speaking Bhagavatam class is a sadhana. Because we are sadhaks. for us to speak Krishna Katha is a sadhana, like chanting. It's a sadhana. Because when we are speaking, we are absorbed. If a rule comes out, nobody will speak in ISKCON now. Only pure devotee, only Acharya will speak. Everybody else quiet. Bhagavatam classes will be Prabhupada's tapes only. No live person. So if the new generation of devotees is not allowed to speak, by speaking we become purified. But there is a difference. There is a Harikatha by a sadhak and there is Harikatha by a siddha. We should hear Siddhavani. We should hear Acharya Vani. But the sadhak should also be encouraged, and some hearing can be from the sadhaks also, provided the sadhaks are well situated. Hare Krishna. Mother, your question is making me feel so this. I should not be speaking actually, Katha. But if Krishna wants, then Krishna will silence me. Yeah, I know, Mataji. But I'm just reflecting, answering your question, and I'm realizing how impure I am and how unqualified I am. All of you are so nice devotees, and I should be listening, not speaking. But thank you, Mataji. Is that okay? Does that help you?
Yes, Prabhuji. It helps me a lot.
Okay. Mukta Sangha, Prabhu?
Prabhu, normally sannyasis don't stay put at one place for more than a day, correct? So what is so special with this Chaturmasya where sannyasis stay at one place for 4 months?
There are two reasons. There is internal and external reason. The external reason is that during Chaturmas in India, it is the monsoon season. It is raining. So previously sannyasis would walk barefoot. So in the rain, it's not possible to walk. So it is to rain heavily. So to go from one village to another, it may take several days. And how where you will take shelter when it is raining, and so it is not possible to travel during rains. So they would stay in one place. But the internal reason is, on the pretext of staying in one place, the sannyasis would do intense bhajan. Intense bhajan. Like in our movement also, there are so many examples. We have Srila Vaisheshika Maharaj, we have Srila Shachinandan Swami Maharaj, Srila Indraduna Swami Maharaj. During the Chaturmas, during specifically Kartik, they always, every year, they go to Shri Vrindavan Dham. And they stay there and they chant from morning, sunrise to sunset. Lakhs of names every day. And they hardly meet anyone. They do Govardhan Parikrama. They read Srila Prabhupada's books. They're intensely absorbed in bhajan. The rest of the year, we are seeing that they are delivering the whole world. But then during that auspicious months of Chaturmas, where so many holy tithis are there, there is Jhulan Yatra, there is Balram Jayanti, there is Krishna Janmashtami, there is Radhashtami. For us, there is Prabhupada Avirbhav Tithi. So many auspicious tithis are there. Tithi of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Everything is there in Chaturmas. So very powerful period. Sharat Purnima. So during this period, it's a time of doing bhajan. So internal reason is they stay in one place so that no time traveling and finding roots and fruits. Just stay put in one place and just do bhajan, 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 bhajan. And the external reason is physically it is very uncomfortable to travel during rainy season. It is not possible. And then why should a sannyasi subject the disciples to inconvenience? Huh? Right? Oh. So internal, external reason. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, I think we'll stop here. And please hold your questions. I'm very sorry, but tomorrow I have more time. Tomorrow we'll do. Today I'm working and I have to wind up also because I'm going out of town tomorrow. I'm working somewhere else tomorrow, so I have to wind up everything. So we'll stop, but tomorrow we'll have a longer session. Okay? Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.